And already there is a frequency of perfect balance. This perfect balance, divine sacred codes flows in specifically to bring a greater equilibrium for the right brain and the left brain of the biology. So there's a collective in-breath and out-breath, and the rhythm of your own breath anchors and stabilizes the codes of equilibrium and perfect balance, starting with the adjustments in micro shifting of energetics between the human brain on the right and the left. In this perfect balance and equilibrium, in the micro adjustments that take place that impact all of the various multi-level attributes of each and every cell within the brain, bringing a balance and thereby adjusting, thereby transmuting, clearing, and purifying. Oh, indeed, beloveds, as in the heart, the mind is a key instrument for the children of light upon the earth. For indeed, it is in the distant mystic remembrance that has brought you here in this moment here now. And indeed, it is the mechanism, the streams of consciousness that flow through and in you and in the resonant field of your cosmic memory that flows. But the antenna must be adjusted. The antenna must be clear and balanced. So, beloveds, we are here in great numbers, in the myriad of numbers, who love and who support you in your ever increasing aspiration on your personal ascension path. Indeed, new levels of mastery, even as you walk a physical, mental, and emotional world. But you soon come to realize that the other aspects of yourself also is moving in tandem. And we say to you, the other aspects of yourself are indeed tethered to your choices, beloved children of the earth. Many times the message has been to you the importance and the roles you play that impact and ripple across the cosmos. We understand in the realm of forgetfulness, in the great Maya of Gaia. Indeed, it is the Maya that is thick, and on levels it serves its important purpose. But here now, a new day has dawned. And in this new day, in cycles upon cycles upon cycles, the re-remembering of your source, the re-remembering of the myriad aspects of talents, knowledge and wisdom that you hold are tied into your decision making in the current incarnation and physicality that you find yourself in this moment. Indeed, beloveds, these are not ordinary times for you. These are extraordinary times for you. Many of times in which requires fortitude and great courage to move forward with that soul pulse, that cosmic memory that is embedded in the deepest parts of yourself. Indeed, the memory of your own DNA in its fullness. Indeed, the memory of that. We can do a metaphor and understanding as one would lose a limb, but yet that limb seems to be there because, yes, it is the wholeness. And even though that physical limb has been removed, the essence and frequency of that limb remains. For it has its own consciousness. Each cell has its own consciousness. For indeed, it is the elemental consciousness that forms the bodysuit you find yourself, the elements of the earth. And when you understand this and draw upon the higher levels and streams of consciousness that flow in, through, and around you always and eternally, and you begin to shift and attune, and many of these attunements, beloveds, are micro attunements. Nothing major, nothing drastic, but each and every step you take towards your path of light, each and every striving to hold that higher heart of compassion and unconditional love, especially in environments and surroundings that challenge that path. But there is a micro adjustment, always striving towards the perfect equilibrium and perfect balance. And so we come here together to bring forth that perfect balance, the natural birthright of the original Adam Kadma in its perfection, bringing in the total balance and equilibrium designed from the beginning of the Ancient of Days. Indeed, aligning with the perfect balance of a multitude of ascended creations. And as you bring this equilibrium within yourself, as you bring the perfect peace within yourself, as you tap into the higher peace frequency codes of the Shalom et Shalom and the Azi Shalom, the higher peace, as you integrate it and hold it within your own frequency emanating DNA, as this divine and sacred chemistry, if you will, known as the great transmutation, transfiguration, the great alchemy takes place within the physical, mental, emotional bodies and beyond. And so, beloveds, this great and powerful coding from the higher sources of perfect balance and unshakable peace, moving within the brain network of the physical body and into the endocrine system, connecting the higher subtle bodies into the physical body, integrating also the emotional body and indeed the mental body. As all subtle bodies become into this great alignment taking place in micro adjustments now. We ask you, beloved, simply to breathe, and as you begin to maybe feel some pressure, as you begin to feel perhaps sensations, simply breathe the sacred in-breath and out-breath, in the remembering of who you truly are, to bring forth that cosmic memory, the other planes of yourself, and thereby bringing in a more anchored and integrated collective of yourself, in the understanding the key role you play in this moment, in the physicality, in your emotions, in your mental and subtle bodies upon the sacred earth in all of her 7 layers and frequency. For all of you are part of this great birthing process. But indeed, it is the birthing of yourselves into the higher magnificence in the understanding of your cosmic memory and source. And as with any skilled professional, it's layer upon layer of understanding and integrating and practice and practice. And then you are in a new level of wisdom, understanding, and vision. And beloveds, it is the children of earth who have not forgotten, who play the key and crucial role. And it is important to remember who you are and the power that you hold, that nothing can deter you, nothing can stop you, nothing can hurt you or harm you, because you are that powerful, radiant light, that indeed you shine as a magnificent sun in other levels of consciousness. From the spark of light within the micro to the bursting flame of emanation of light into the macro, and all expressions in between. But in the complexity of all that there is, we narrow it down to you. Because you see, there has been a grand design on a multitude of levels, all playing an integral part, each part important, significant, to a grander, higher vision and outcome. And beloveds, you would be the king and the queens in chess. You play that role. And so you move in the remembrance of your royalty and the regalness. Remembering once again, as pictured for those artists who remember somewhere, the beauty, the magnificence, the elegance, and the benevolence. For indeed, beauty, elegance is an emanation of love. And as these continued codes, making micro adjustments on the physical brain, the mental and the emotional, moving into the etheric as well as the endocrine system to bring in a perfect balance and equilibrium into the physical, mental, emotional, and the upper bodies. Simply breathe with intention of this divine blessing and grace that flows in now. Feeling loved and supported. For indeed, it is the myriads of radiant ones from various streams of consciousness. Indeed, the elemental frequency playing a key role in this moment in the body elemental, bringing in the equilibrium, bringing in the micro adjustments for perfect balance, bringing right brain and left brain functions to create a middle pathway to receive the higher frequency levels of consciousness to flow in more directly with ease and grace. Each and every single in-breath and out-breath is holy and sacred as this great alchemy of transformation and transfiguration takes place. Simply breathe with intention as we hold the higher frequency of unconditional love, compassion, holding light to our beloveds. A deep and abiding peace. 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 And now, beloveds, as this great transfiguration continues, see clearly in your spiritual eye your great sun, Helios, Vesta. See behind this magnificent sun an even greater sun behind that. See clearly in your spiritual eye from the perspective of the cosmos, looking at the sacred earth, looking at the celestial bodies who move around the great Logi, Helios Vesta, and seeing the sun behind your local Logi. Indeed, it is the great sun of Alcyone. And behind Alcyone, even a greater sun. And there is the triplicity of the three suns. Seeing yourself now with the rays of your local sun, radiating through you with the sun behind that sun, and the sun behind that sun. So in your spiritual eye, you see the emanation of the highest sun emanating to the next, and finally into your local sun of Helios. See it now emanating to your sacred earth. See you there as one of her guardians, taking your role to receive the higher light frequencies and to hold it for her, as you are the resonators and the containers, as the perfect equilibrium, as the perfect balance now manifests for you to receive the higher celestial codes of radiant light, coming from the upper worlds, the ascension worlds, emanating through streams of consciousness to reach you, guardians of the earth. And as these rays of code come in, integrate, and move through you, see clearly that through your physical body, mental, emotional, and the spiritual bodies it is integrated with, receiving the codes from the sun behind the sun behind the sun, moving into your physical body, down into the feet, and into the crystal core of your beloved mother. See your earth body suit emanating in this light. Indeed, you find yourself as an emanation of light. Indeed, beloveds, you are a sun. And this sun flows onto your earth mother. And you bring it into the depths of her body and into her consciousness and in all levels of her expression. And thereby, you, as the emissaries of the Ascension plan, emanate throughout her and all of her life. You stand as great sentinels firmly upon the earth, the great guardians who have not forgotten, and bring in clearly, directly, unfiltered, unaltered, the higher frequencies of the sun, behind the sun, behind the sun, to your earth mother. And as she receives these codes, it emanates from her body, moving towards the celestial bodies in the local solar system of Helios Vesta. Indeed, the entire solar system is ablaze in this sacred higher light. Hold your position. Breathe with intention. Simply allow the frequency energy codes to flow in, through, and around you. Any sensations, pressures, lightheadedness, simply be the observer. Simply be the observer and allow the frequencies of immense radiant light and love move in, through, and around you. Breathe with intention. Grateful to serve in this capacity. Zizayam Malkite. Zizayam Maltike. Zizayam Maltike. And now, seems way in the distance, but the thought of the return comes. And as such, there's a gradual releasing of this energy that has engulfed us, surrounded us, and loved us. And the myriad of radiant ones begin to draw in their electromagnetic field, and so we can draw in ours. We take our time, put forth the intention to be back into your physical, mental, and emotional bodies and anchored to the earth. But even as this happens, this frequency of micro adjustments in the right brain and left brain to bring forth the higher equilibrium and the perfect balance continues. Before you go to sleep, try to remember the experience. Bring it into your dream time. And now we will prepare ourselves to be back awake, alert, and grounded by the count of 3. 1, 2, take a deep breath in. And 3, we are back, awake, alert, and we are grounded.